turn the lights down low, 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 low. And I will give you everything, baby.
What is up, guys? It's your boy, Joey Dillon. Back again with another video. Little more consistent than last time, so here we go. As you could tell from the title, this is some coming out tips. Like I said in my last video, I came out to my mom fairly easily. Okay, so coming out is cool. Okay, so coming out was an easy thing for me. Me and my mom were just chilling, and we were talking about breast reduction surgery, and I said, well, I want all mine cut off. And she was like, oh, they won't do that with breast reduction. And I'm like, well, I want top surgery. And she just looked at me weird, and I was like, I'm trans. So that's kind of how that happened. I just looked some tips up because I just wanted to make sure I was giving you guys legit information. So, well, first you have to consider the timing of when you're coming out, because sometimes are better than others. Like, maybe you shouldn't say it in the heat of a discussion, because that can go terribly. So, wow, that's loud. Very even. I hate life. Anyways, like, yeah, you don't want to just, like, while your mom's yelling at you, yeah, no, I'm gay. It's like, no, that's probably not the best idea. I feel like my mom's listening to me do this, and nobody's home but her, so she probably thinks I'm talking to myself. So, like I said, consider the timing. Two. You should probably bring up an LGBT related topic first to see how your parents feel about it, because you never know how they're gonna react. Like, if you know your parents are, like, really opening and accepting, it makes everything easier. If you know that they're not, that makes it harder. Wow. I'm gonna kill myself. So, you know, with Trump being president and everything he does, my mom walked in. Or she walked upstairs. But like I was saying, just bring up something that, you know, Trump did or something, you know? Just be like, oh, yeah, Mom, Dad, what's your opinion on what Trump's doing with, you know, the trans kids in the bathrooms? Because that's relevant. And depending on how they respond, you should have a good idea if they're more accepting of it or not. Because, like, if they say, oh, yeah, no, it's bad, they should just, you know, let the kids use whatever, you know, whatever. And if they're like, oh, no, I'm glad, then it's like, oh. And if you're still not convinced, that they accept it or don't accept it, just bring it up more often. And, you know, bring up hypotheticals. Like, oh, what if? Except what if questions are scary, so. And maybe telling both your parents at the same time wouldn't be a good thing. Like, if your mom's more accepting than your dad, or your dad's more accepting than your mom, maybe you want to sit them separately down and tell them. Because, like, for me, it was easier for me to come out to my mom first because I knew she was accepting and I wasn't sure about my dad, so. I kept hearing my mom and I got insecure, so I've talked about timing, I've talked about, you know, figuring out your parents are accepting. Telling them separately could be good. The ways that you could come out to them, because sometimes coming out in person, like, it should be the best way to come out, but it's not always, in my opinion, the best way to come out. I came out to my mom in person because it just came up in conversation. I am not a confrontational person, so coming out to people in person is harder because the face-to-face rejection, like, I can't handle that, and I'm not good with constructive criticism, like I am, but, like, with my parents, it's different, I guess. I don't know. You could also write a letter to your parents. That's what I did with my dad, because it gives you time to sit down and write down all your thoughts and feelings, and you're able to get your point across and explain everything thoroughly, because sometimes in face-to-face, you get so nervous and things get sometimes face-to-face, things get a little rough, and maybe you won't be able to say everything you want to say because of the way the conversation goes and stuff. So sometimes a letter is beneficial in that sense. Over text, might not be the best way to do that, but I guess it's a way to come out, because I came out to my grandma through text. Yeah. Because there could be a lot more miscommunication with text messages, as there already is in regular everyday conversation. Just, if somebody texts different one day, you'd be like, oh, why do they hate me? Like, this, like, there's so much that could be miscommunicated. So I would steer away from a text message, but I guess you could do it that way. Over the phone is it's kind of like a text, but in person, but not in person. So maybe over the phone. But again, with the whole timing thing, if you call somebody on the phone, you don't necessarily know what they're doing or who they're with or if they're busy or how they're feeling. So that might not be the best choice. Yeah, that's coming out to parents anyways that I can think of right now. This video is very poorly planned. Okay. So, coming out to friends. That is a whole different story than coming out to your parents, because during these adolescent years, face it, you need the approval of your friends more than your parents. Maybe that's not the truth, but that's kind of how it works in a teenager's brain. So, let's get into that. The way I came out to all my friends, I told them over text messages, and I made a status on Facebook announcing to everyone that I was trans, which my mom advised me not to do because of all the criticism, but everyone was super accepting, so, but, I don't know, your friends, okay, here's a little lesson. If your friends don't fucking accept you for who you are, they're fucking shitty-ass friends, and you don't need them in your life. Like, you do not need them. Like, trust me. If I were to tell somebody that, like, oh, I'm trans, and they're like, oh, you're a fucking tranny, it's like, alright, fuck you. No matter how long the relationship is, if they don't accept you for you, you don't fucking need them, because it's your life, and you should be able to live it how you want, just like they're able to live their life how they want. So, yeah. As for friends, it's easier to come out to friends. And if it's not easy to come out to your friends, then you probably have some shitty-ass friends. Like, you shouldn't be afraid to come out to your friends, because you should know that your friends will love you regardless. And if you question their love and loyalty to you, then are they really your friends? Because they're probably not, if you have to question their loyalty. Coming out to any other person, it just depends on who they are to you. If they mean a lot to you, you probably tend to tell them first. Like, that's why I told my mom first, because I love my mom so much. And I mean, I guess that's all I have to say for tips for coming out. Okay, I just looked up tips on coming out. Top 11 tips for coming out as lesbian, gay, or bisexual, which just probably applies to anybody else that's coming out because what the fuck is the difference, I guess. Don't feel pressured. That's what this says. Yeah, actually that's a valid point. I'm glad I looked this up. If you're not ready to come out, then don't come out. Like, in 7th grade, I dated a girl online and somebody told the counselor, so the counselor called my mom and said this person's concerned because Joey's dating a girl online, and at the time I wasn't out as trans, so I had to have the talk with my mom that night and told her that I like boys and girls and everything in between. So like, I was not ready at 13 years old to come out. I guess I'm glad I did, because I wouldn't be the person I am today. But if you don't think you're ready, then don't pressure yourself into doing something you don't want to do. Like, it's as easy as that. Okay. Next thing it says is don't put a label on yourself if you don't want to. If you're not completely sure on what you are, then that's okay. It's just, you don't have to put a label on yourself. I know society's like, beats that, like, oh, what are you? Are you straight? Are you gay? Like, what? Like, they're so into your private life, but you don't have to tell anyone anything. Like, you don't, it's your life. Like, you live it how you want to live it. Like, I chose to come out as trans so that, you know, for me anyways, I was able to start, you know, telling my mom how I felt about stuff, obviously. Because I can't just be like, oh yeah, no, I wish I didn't have boobs, you know? Like, I don't know. And like, if you don't know exactly what you are, don't put a label on yourself, because, like, you know, as you're growing up, you grow up, you learn, you make mistakes, like, you experiment, like, shit happens. And that's not saying that this is a phase or, you know, all that other bullshit that parents like to say. If it's you, then it's you. You just have to give it time and make sure that you are what you are. I don't know. When I found out I was trans in probably 9th grade, and I didn't end up coming out until middle of 10th grade, because I just wanted to be sure, because I knew people got bullied and stuff because, you know, they would say, oh yeah, no, I'm gay, and then like oh yeah, no, I like girls too, and guys, like, whatever, like, and they would get shit for it because, like, oh, didn't you say this or didn't you say that, and you're fake, this isn't this. And just make sure you know before you say anything. So I don't know. Another tip, you can read into how other people came out, and just if it sounds like it feels right, then maybe you could do it how they came out, because I'm pretty sure all the ways that I listed were not all the possible ways to come out. I don't know any other way you would, but, you know, like I said, this wasn't very well prepared. Okay, this is a big one. Forget the stereotypes. If you're trans and have long hair and still wear girl clothes, it's okay. If you're gay and you, like, you know, you're not into, you know, what the fuck are gays into? What is, like, stereotypical gay into? Yeah, you don't have to wear rainbow to be gay. This video is so bad. What is going on? Sometimes coming out, not only is it difficult for you, it's difficult for your parents and sometimes friends to understand that. Just in general, like, it's going to take time for them to process, because with your parents, obviously, they've known you your whole life, and they just assume that you were straight and this, and now they, you know, you're gay, you're bi, you're lesbian, you're trans. Now they have to, like, just get used to it, because if you, like, come out as one of those and, like, say you're gay and you bring home another guy, they're gonna have to get used to it. If you're lesbian and you bring home a girl, they're gonna have to get used to it. If you're trans like I am, you know, they're gonna have to, you know, get used to calling you the pronouns you want and the name you want. So, like, you just have to give it time. As on the trans thing, with the whole, like, give it time, for me, I'm a really accepting person, and I understand and I forgive a lot. For me, when people accidentally call me by my old name, like, I don't get super, like, upset about it, especially if, like, it's their first time and, like, they didn't know. Like, I don't, like, get super triggered because I'm like, oh, you didn't know, it's fine. You just correct them and move on. You shouldn't make a big deal out of it. In my opinion, when people, you know, put it on blast, they're like, oh yeah, no, don't call me by my birth name. Like, the more you draw the attention out, like, I feel like the more shit you're gonna get. I watched this video of one of these people I follow on Instagram. They came out as trans, and he made a few good points that I would like to kind of touch up on. He was saying how he didn't want to come out because everyone just thought he was cis and it was great, and he said now that he decided to come out, like, he said it was great because people are using the right pronouns and stuff, but he said as soon as he came out, people are gonna be like, oh, are you a boy or a girl, this and this, and he's like, before there were no questions and nobody treated me any different, and that's how I feel how it should be, because some people do separate cis guys from trans guys when in reality, like, they're just boys. Like, they're all boys, they're all men, like, that's what we want to be, and I feel like we shouldn't get treated any differently than cis men, because everybody's like, oh, you're cute for a trans guy. Like, no, it should just be like, oh yeah, no, you're handsome, you're cute. Like, it shouldn't matter what's in your pants. It just should matter what's in your heart, because that's your true character and that's who you really are, and you should stay true to yourself. And like this video for no reason. Kidding. Give me a big thumbs up if you like this video, obviously, or if I was helpful in any way, because I feel like this video was all over the place. Comment down below your coming out story, if you came out, and if you're not, comment down below how you plan to come out, or even if this inspires you to come out, then comment down below how it goes. Let me know, you know, what happened. Don't forget to subscribe, because I make new videos whenever. Honestly, I don't have a schedule yet for it because I'm all over the place. Anyways, yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you next time. Maybe if you want updates on when I'm posting, probably follow my Snapchat, because that's where I will keep you updated on when I go live on Musical.ly. Might start going live on Instagram. I don't know, but I usually go on there the most. So add me on Snapchat, follow me on Instagram. You know, it's FT_Joey. And like I said before, I will see you next time. Bye.